This is the second part of a 3-part series on truth, at least on an aspect of truth. Each part is about a basic element of the Christian life and kind of a call to make a personal decision for oneself. This second part is titled Loving the Truth. Hold fast to the truth, no matter how much it is disliked, hated, and found to be inconvenient. The truth is so valuable, it is part of who God is. Jesus answered, "I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." Does anyone of God's people love the truth? Treasures it, values it, lets it lead and guide, cherishes it? It is important that we love the truth more than ourselves and our comfort level. Let it set us free. May we not run from it, but run toward it. May we be willing to die for the truth, and definitely love it more than we value money or the approval of people. Either one loves the truth or they don't, and to love it means to value it, even when it turns to refine and cause friction or correction to oneself, not only valuing truth when you agree with it, but also when it causes conviction in oneself. In essence, the truth is never wrong. One can use it in unloving ways, and God doesn't advocate for its usage in that way, but He does advocate for truth overall. Not deception, not dysfunction being portrayed as right and good and normal. May God's people get this foundational element right. May we love the truth. If we don't, our foundation is severely lacking. The foundation would be weak and unstable. Do not let kindness and truth leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. For you are the children of your father the devil, and you love to do the evil things he does. He was a murderer from the beginning, and a hater of truth. There is not an iota of truth in him. When he lies, it is perfectly normal, for he is the father of lies. And so, when I tell the truth, you just naturally don't believe it. Pilate replied, "But you are a king, then?" "Yes," Jesus said, "I was born for that purpose, and I came to bring truth to the world. All who love the truth are my followers." "What is truth?" Pilate exclaimed. God is spirit, and those who worship Him must worship in spirit and in truth. Make them pure and holy through teaching them your words of truth. For there are 6 things the Lord hates. No, 7. Haughtiness, lying, murdering, plotting evil, eagerness to do wrong, a false witness, sowing discord among brothers. This man of sin will come as Satan's tool, full of satanic power, and will trick everyone with strange demonstrations, and will do great miracles. He will completely fool those who are on their way to hell because they have said no to the truth. They have refused to believe it and love it and let it save them. So God will allow them to believe lies with all their hearts, and all of them will be justly judged for believing falsehood, refusing the truth, and enjoying their sins. So that's basically it. That's the message. Again, fairly short. That last little passage I read, I believe it was talking about the Antichrist. The guy who is referred to as this man of sin. This man of sin will come as Satan's tool. I believe that was talking about the Antichrist. But anyways, yes, this foundational element of loving the truth. How important that is for Christians to do. And how important the truth is. Again, as I said, that's one of the things that God is. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. So that should indicate at some level how valuable truth is. And so I hope that we as Christians love the truth. Love the truth, even when it is not, let's say, on our side. Is that a bad way to say it? Love the truth even when it convicts us, shows us where we're wrong, refines us. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't make us feel comfortable. Let us love it even when it doesn't make us feel comfortable. Like I believe I mentioned in the first part of this 3-part series on truth. The first part was called The Choice. I believe I was talking about this in that video, but loving the truth over what makes us comfortable. Valuing the truth over comfort. Another way of saying it would be to prioritize the truth over prioritizing comfort. And I have seen that not so at times in the church. And it seems to be at times when it would be so much better if the truth was valued more than comfort. It seems to come at rather critical moments of choosing the truth over convenience and comfort. Like that moment is like a fork in the road. Are you going to go the way of truth, or are you going to go the way of comfort and convenience? Because as a fork in the road, it is a trajectory that can be good, the right way, or it can be taking you down a path that is not the best. In fact, can lead to problems. More problems than if you had just endured a moment of discomfort. I hope that's making sense. But loving the truth, sadly, I see that lacking in not all of God's people, but in some of God's people, and it's too bad. I don't know what else to say about it. It's too bad that is the case, but it is the case. And I hope that all of us can learn to love the truth more and more as we grow, as we mature, as we become more like Christ. I hope that we can learn to love the truth more and more, even when it's at our expense. Some of the consequences of not loving the truth are pretty bad. Like that last passage of the Bible I just read, it talks about the consequences of those who have refused to believe and love the truth. In that context, I believe it was talking about people who have refused the truth of the gospel. But I think there are pretty bad consequences to not loving the truth, even when you are already a believer. I don't need to get into this too much, but I was sort of vaguely referring to that when the moment comes to choose truth or comfort and convenience comes, it seems to be a rather critical moment. I was talking about that. And the critical moment that I was referring to is specifically when it comes to correction. Correction is uncomfortable generally, right? Nevertheless, I think that is a critical moment, because if you don't allow yourself to be corrected, you will continue down a path that is not very good. The correction comes to hopefully bring people to the truth, to greater understanding and knowledge. And when that is refused, that is not a pretty consequence for that person. That's how I see it. Where if the correction was received, they would benefit from that. And this is one of the ways I see where truth is not that prioritized in the church. I think I've said in the past, in other videos in the past, that correction basically cannot happen in the church, and it's still true. Correction basically cannot happen in the truth, although it says in the Bible that the Bible itself is useful for certain things, correction included, but let's omit that part, I guess. The correction doesn't come to point fingers and say how wrong someone is. People get stuck on that, I notice. People get stuck on it becoming a personal issue, and they don't even see beyond that to what the correction is for, which is to steer people toward the truth and away from something incorrect. They don't see that, though. It's too uncomfortable to bear, and it turns into a personal offense. And that discomfort is paid attention to more than the truth that was trying to come through the correction, but because it was so uncomfortable, that matters more than the truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes, people get stuck at what I would call like first base. When you're trying to get them to see third base, they get stuck at first base thinking, oh, I feel uncomfortable, I'm offended because someone corrected me, but you're not even looking at first base, you're looking at third base, trying to see what the truth of, for instance, theology might be. How about pointing out truth that the Bible supports? No, I have realized that you can show so-called Bible-believing Christians Bible verses in an effort to kindly correct, and it will not matter. Even if you show them a Bible verse that is contrary to what they are believing, apparently, it doesn't matter. That's how rigid, how stubborn, how stiff, and how resistant to truth some Christians are. And I'm sad to say that. It's really sad because, as I said, I'm looking at third base and they get stuck at first base. It's not a personal issue. It's a truth issue, but they get stuck at a personal issue. And that's a shame. Again, may we love the truth more than our personal comfort level. But I think there's another factor at play here. At times it's not only how much you love the truth, it's, are you humble? Are you able to be corrected? Are you able to be instructed in any way? Or do you know it all? Well, I think that's all I have to say for this video. Lord willing, I will see you in the next one.